Hello friends, again for the second time today. We just saw the league announcement trailer. It's crazy. I am containing my hype as much as possible right now. Honestly, I'm just really exhausted after an almost 7-hour stream of reviewing that. My actual hype video, that will be coming a little bit later. There is so much information that we need to digest. Basically need to sleep on it. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go through a lot more detail of looking at the new siege stuff, the new crafting stuff, all that, at least the surface level. We're gonna have to be digging into that as we are also planning our league starters and all that. So all I wanted to do right now is do a little post-patch notes review. So the video that I posted earlier today, I gave a proposal for builds that are looking strong right now. And the purpose of that was to say, hey, as we watch these patch notes, look for all of these different builds and how they're going to be affected. This will just start those juices flowing in your brain. You can start thinking, really start to understand how these things are going to be changing and starting to put together a build that will be a really strong league starter that you can own yourself. This is just going to be a simple little short one as I talk about what the build was that I proposed and how it changed and how it looks after this. The skill that was giga broken, giga insane, absolutely going to dominate absolutely everything. Well, GGG knows what they're doing and they hit it with a double nerf hammer. So the first thing that we knew from the manifesto, it was going to be harder to create those specters from the desecrate pool. That got nerfed. That was okay. We still were able to get that really, really big damage. And then the second line of the patch notes, which states the specter corpse life is being scaled down to a set amount, and no longer can you get those big life specters like the auto enforcers that make the detonate dead do so much damage and basically one-shot bosses. So detonate dead with a lot of investment, like a normal build will still probably be fine, but it's not just a drop it in, wear no gear, and one-shot Cirrus type of thing anymore. Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain, Ballista, still gonna be really, really good. As part of the Arch Nemesis, there is a new modifier that is monsters now have increased chaos resistance. And that, we'll see, that might be enough to make TRCA feel a little uncomfortable actually on the leveling, at least at the lower level investments. I think it'll mostly be fine. We're just gonna find rare packs of monsters that are gonna be a little annoying to kill. We don't know what the actual damage scaler is on that. Is it 30%? Is it 10%? You know, that's gonna make a really big difference, but just be aware of that. But overall, this looks pretty much untouched. The Bane Occultist, my baby, she's still looking really, really good. And in fact, looking at the buff to the blight duration, you could build this a little bit differently, and I think it might actually be buffed next patch, which good news for all you Bane fans. I will be updating the build, making a video specifically for the people that want to play Bane as soon as we get that 3.17 tree in POB. So stay on the lookout for that. Make sure you get subscribed, and I'll walk you through all of that stuff. Then we have the Power 4. As you saw in the video this morning, I explained traps, mines, totems, minions. These are all still just really, really good. Spectre's actually got some quality of life improvement. You don't have to fish for the actual minion that you want anymore or have a Spectre pool set up on a different character. So that's really, really nice. Totems, mines, and traps, as far as we can tell, they're almost exactly the same. So if you like them right now, you'll like them in the next patch. Great league starters as always. Poisonous Concoction looks basically untouched. I keep telling people, Poco, Peacock, whatever you want to call it, is a really nice league starter up until red maps. And especially the Occultist version, the single target is a little lacking. It's not this like, boom, I'm playing this build and I'm going all the way to the end game and I'm just destroying it. It's really just a really nice engine and a vehicle for doing Plague Bear and running around and killing monsters. But its single target is pretty lacking. So just bear that in mind as you put that build together. It is a really nice play style. So if you just want to clear, get to the maps and start killing stuff really fast, that's a good build to play. Tornado Shot KB Gladiator that is used as an engine for Corrupting Fever, as far as we can tell, looks untouched. So if you like playing that build, you know, again, this is generally a lower single target damage build, but it's just really, really nice for a league starter. Very simple scaling, very SSF HC friendly. Special Helix is untouched, and in fact, this is the skill that I'm strongly considering league starting. It is a little mechanically funky. You do have to get used to it, but it has a 270% effectiveness of damage. And it hits multiple times if you know how to use it mechanically. And especially if you're doing something like abusing Nightblade, like Jung Ron's Poison Assassin, it's just super, super bonkers and strong. So be on the lookout for that if you really want to play it. I might do a cold conversion Raider version. I'm a big fan of Raider, of course. And I just like cold. I like those defensive layers there. It's not going to have the damage ceiling that the poison version has, at least at low levels of investment, but it's just going to feel really nice and easy to play. So that's going to be better for zooming maps. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. And then if we really want to, we can invest in something else for killing the bosses. Cold Dot Occultist, basically untouched. If anything, the on-hit damage got buffed a little bit. And they reworked March of the Legion and Blessing support. We may actually want to work in Blessing support, and we can sneak in Zealotry really, really easily, and might be pretty good. So I'm kind of considering that. We can get all of our defensive auras and use that Blessing support. It's one more button to press, but it's really, really strong. You can just press it when you want to get a little bit more DPS. EA Ballista, the build that everyone is talking about, still looks exactly the same. I haven't seen the final versions of those builds yet. I haven't played it myself, so I can't speak to it. With all of the hype around it, looking like it's probably going to be really good, so leave that on the table if you're interested. And here's the bad news. I'm sorry, friends. In the patch notes, I mean, this is what I said this morning, right? In the patch notes, there has been nothing that looks like it directly addresses the feel and the actual scaling and the single target of these hand-casted and bow skills. I am not convinced from what I see in the patch notes. There could be something that I'm missing. I'm not totally writing it out. I'm probably just going to play like a Fireball Ignite, or maybe Rolling Flames Fireball, or maybe Whispering Ice or something. I might do like a hand-casted something. And I'm definitely going to play a bow build at some point in this league. But from what I've seen in the manifesto and the patch notes, nothing has proven to me that these are undisputably going to be strong league starters versus what they are today. Stronger, yes. 50% stronger, perhaps. Strong enough to feel good enough for me to recommend, like, hey, this is going to kill Cirrus on day 3 with 5 exalts. I'm not really seeing it, right? The way that single target works, especially for bow builds right now, you got to spend 100x to kill the bosses comfortably. Even if you cut that in half, you double the damage, you make things feel a lot more comfortable. Even if you cut that in a quarter, you're still looking at 25x, right? They didn't address the support gems. They didn't address like the mechanics of what makes that uncomfortable. And in fact, the way that we're scaling that right now, especially by using Hydrosphere and things like that, like, yeah, fine, the mark support's nice, but that doesn't really change anything. I'm not seeing it. And maybe I'm not seeing it, but I just can't recommend hand casting a traditional bow skill as the league starter right now. So bad news, if you really wanted to league start that lightning arrow or that fireball or arc or something, it'll be fine. Is it going to feel good enough to be that league starter that lets you stay with the pack and the economy and all that? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm really bad at breaking bad news to people, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, so thanks again for stopping by at my second video today. I need a night to sleep. I need to have lunch, like a really late lunch after all the work today. But I need to get to sleep, digest all of these thoughts, and wake up tomorrow fresh, ready to go as we pop on Twitch as well, get the community brain trust on top of everything as we start really trying to figure out what's going on. The people in Discord are already absolutely popping off right now, dropping in so much tech, and I need time to seep that into my brain and let it really percolate in there. So anyway, hope you all have a wonderful evening. Get your rest because next week is going to be crazy. Thank you once again and have a good one. See you tomorrow.